Alright, what is up everybody? 10th anti-hype is getting real. Let's start this video off with some pulls. We're going step 10 on Resplendent Hel. Let's get her right now. Melvern dupe. Oh, so I glossed over it, but I'll pause the screen here for a second to show you what I just grabbed from that. Let's also go check in our items, see if we can see it before we do anything else. Alright, yes, so on the first pull that you do for Resplendent Hel, you get 100 of her rune cores. This will allow you to unlock her rune chain ability to skill level 2. And what that does for you is it gives you the actual passive component. So let's look at that before I start pulling more. Alright, so Resplendent Hel is going to have a rune chain ability here called Light Cadence of Darkness. And at max level, it has this activation condition when you hit a rune chain of 2 and 3. So you can look at the effects by level, and at base, it's just that you chain with Dark Acer. But because we got those 100 rune chain items, we're gonna get it to level 2. So you don't need to dupe to get to level 2, because level 2 unlocks the Light Cadence of Darkness at skill level 2, which at least gives you the interference repudiation value of 10. And this is what you're going to need in the Lif S5. So the Phantasmal Connect A World Lost is our new Lif. There's the S1 and the S5. Now the S1 is going to be farmable without the counter mechanic. So you'll still be able to get the Enlightenment for Lif, even if you don't pull Resplendent Hel or Resplendent Scald in a week or so. I'm assuming the S5 is going to have a higher drop rate, but also what the S5 does is it gives Lif a passive skill called Spell Shield Repudiation. And what this does is it decreases her damage received, and it starts off basically mitigating all of your damage. So 9,900 times 0.01, that's pretty much 99% damage reduction. And so you're gonna need Resplendent Hel to be using that rune chain ability to lower this spell shield value during the battle. All right, but let's go ahead and get our 10 steps in. We got Sparks on step 2. Let's see if we can get lucky and get her early or something. A V Ymir dupe, interesting. Already got him G3. Kari dupe. Alright, interesting dupes then. Let's keep it going. Double Emblem. Nice. Randvitter dupe. Alright. Here we go. Step 4. Sparks again. Let's go. Only one rare and an emblem. What was even the sparks on that one? Maybe the P-Tholen gear. Alright, keep it moving. Step 5. Just a Mikane dupe and a Bloodthirst dupe. Double Emblem again. Berg dupe. Alright, big boy. Going into step 7. Let's go. Sparks on it. Okay, the Lavina was probably the sparks there. Step 8. Let's go. Ooh, Laramelia dupe. That's always good to get. Alfana dupe, although I think I already have her G3. A double Alfana dupe. Okay. I think I already had her 4800 as well, to be honest, but okay, there we go. So double Alfana dupe, Laramelia, and a Gratias. Okay, going into step 9. Patricio pull, dude. What a throwback. Alright, now we get our Resplendent Hel, and maybe we'll pull a dupe. Saw a guy in Discord pull a dupe on step 10. Okay, P Noah dupe. I can't remember how many of those I have, but I'll take it. That's nice. New L&E. I think that's new for me. Oh, nope, I had her. Okay. And there she is. Although I accidentally skipped the animation there. There you go. We have our Resplendent Hel now. That's A4 Pinoa stealing the show. Alright, there she is. We got her, boys. Now to get another 30k and pull for Resplendent Scald next week. Alright, so we got another purple button up here. Rune, they're just filling up the screen with purple buttons, man. Alright, so we got her rune chain that we can take to skill level 2 for the step 1 freebie. Rune chain abilities are special effects that some heroes have which are activated when certain conditions for rune chain are met. Rune cores are used to increase a hero's rune chain ability level and unlock or strengthen abilities as well as add chain targets. Rune cores can be obtained by getting duplicate heroes. You knew dupes were going to be important on these. I mean, we all knew that was coming. So we got one at base. Now we get to unlock our skill level 2 and get the Light Cadence of Darkness added on. There we go. It also adds the chain 3 effect as well. So when any ally inflicts dark element damage on the enemy, light element damage of half of the base of attack is also inflicted for 1 turn. So free damage, it's good. Her chain target is just currently Dark Acer, and it looks like Beast will be unlocked at another level at 5. So at chain target 5, you also unlock the ability to chain with Dark Beasts. But for now, she's only able to chain with Dark Acer. So at skill level 5, the interference repudiation also goes from 10 to 20, and oh, I see. So at the start, it has to hit chain 3. So your rune, you don't get the first interference repudiation until chain 3 once it starts off, and then the final evolution from skill 5 to skill 6 allows it to proc at chain 2 instead. I wish they had that number highlighted. That's the only change there that they don't, but okay. So that's the whole point of getting to level 6 there on that. For now, we partner with Dark Acer and we proc our interference at chain 3. So we need to have other Dark Acer in the team now when we fight Lif S5. So let's see if we can team build for that after I give her, you know, the basic treatment. And let's go over passives real quick now that we got her. Let's go ahead and R1 her because, you know, we're going to be needing that. We can check out her artifact and artifact passives as well. I'm pretty interested to see that. Hopefully they're bonkers. All right, so we have high field resist. That's awesome, like Lif has. So she has all the field resistances, including the 2 high fields. Her passive is Scold, which gives all allies skill gauge 20, tempered, light element 50, and then attack 30 flat, which is good. She has Sacred Wings. Everybody should know what Sacred Wings does. This is a very typical one. Then we have multi-killer 50, airborne 50, grounded. So we cover everything now. So now grounded bosses with airborne crystals, just bring her, boom. You got max altitude amps that you possibly can. That's awesome. And we have Right, which is the Frenzy Opener plus Barrage, and Barrage deals additional damage to all enemies after an ally activates an action skill, and this damage increases if they also have Barrage. So that's good. All right, let's get through the rest of the bells and whistles. Let's go that 800 supercharge. Let's at least get her to 152 here. Let's build her 1000 attack, and still they don't have the insta to go to 1000 here. That button would be very much appreciated. Hopefully we'll get that in the future. Until then, you can listen to me ramble about how much we need this QOL while I sit here and hold to get to 1000 attack. And look at that, we're done. And let's just throw on 500 res on the other side, and maybe we'll build our PvP later. If anyone's wondering, this is my normal PvE and PvP build, although I know people still build G power and some extra knockdown for PvP. I just stick with this. It's just more simple to have it all on one page, but you can obviously use the second page if you want to build a G power build. Your emblems should be covering enough knockdown, so in PvP you could be focusing G power instead. I have plenty, so let's go ahead and Omega her too. I know this is going to be a relevant hero, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop the chalices into her, and now she is good to go. Also got some extra, been farming up a little bit, so let's go ahead and get our new girl up a little bit, Elicio, who is a human, by the way. I thought she would be a dwarf in the previous video because of how small she was, but I guess there's some small humans too, so. All right, let us rock and roll. Let's go ahead and get her to 152 as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, we wanted to look at the artifact too. So she does have her own hero quests already. She's not going to be locked behind that. It's been a long journey around the world. Not going to read through all of it, but let's see if I remember it like it was yesterday. All right, nothing too lore breaking there, just some nostalgia bombs. All right, I got to turn off one of my lights here. It's driving me nuts. It's flickering. All right, let's keep it moving. We got stuff to do. Let's see our second little story. The rune knife has suddenly been shrouded in darkness. Oh, something's happening with the rune knife. I wonder what it could be. All right, let's see the final little story. A mysterious darkness has come over the rune knife. Oh, here we go. Transformation time. Do-do-do-do. Glow up, baby. Kirei desu ne. Strokes are dressed lovingly. Ooh. Goodness, girl. Alrighty. So Hel's got her glow up. Alright, let's go affinity farm her and check that artifact. Alright, so our Hel's Unleash Power, has self-attack, light damage, and damage up to humans. So nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Attack, defense, flat. But we go ahead and just make one star for the time being. Alright, let's see if we can even fathom a team build here so far. We do have some rankings so far. We have Death Outcast. We have Sin as a Dark Acer combo. We have Dark Light Dis as a Dark Acer combo. Somebody's already got their Lif Enlightened. Look at that. Some people don't even use Dark at all. Just smash it with Light. Alright, Resplendent Hel 100%. We all knew that was going to be the case. Wow. Alephia, Death, and Scorpio are the first dark ones, and they're all the way down. That low on usage. Alright, so maybe we just focus light stuff, and then at least bring... Maybe we just do full light. Alright, so it does show a little flashing for who's able to rune chain with. I do want to bring the Lif for... I would want to try to bring the Sin for it. Well, it wouldn't even matter if I can't get it to chain 3, would it? Who can Sin chain with? Water Acer? That's why they bring Jude Brideson. Maybe we try that instead, so I could potentially get to rune chain 3. If I do Resplendent Hel into Sin into Jude Brideson, could chain 3. Alright, so we have our S5 gear. Let's just try getting some stuff on the team, and I will come back once we have a full build. Alright, this Lif is light element, ranged airborne human, unknown gender, no female amps will work. High holy field, so we do need field resist as well. On the ring, let's take our field ring. Okay, we can at least use... No, we can't even use... Because we don't have a light in the magic row. Oh, that's probably what Lofen would be good for. Probably just bring Lofen instead of P-Rove. P-Rove is really only there for the 30% airborne, and I don't need that. Alright, I think that's pretty good. And we are not using gender ones, so let's just give her light killer. Ylif, what did we have on her? I think pretty decent loadout. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, so I think everybody was good. Alright, let's see how hard it is to make a chain 3 and get this debuff down. Oh, and Sin's gone. Alright, so we will be needing something to do with that. That is Yikes-a-rama, but we have dealt decent damage compared to what I did without Resplendent Hel. Alright, yeah. We definitely need Sin to stay alive and start the chain, or continue our Hel's chain. Yeah, because without being, we have to get to rune 3 to get any of that debuff shred. Alright, so we'll try that instead. Gotta bulk her up a little. Probably gonna have to bulk up Sin quite a bit. Might need to go and make some more artifacts, to be honest. Gonna need every trick in the book to get through this stuff. Alright, so jumping back in, I took a little break from the Lif S5 because I'm going to need to figure out quite a bit of stuff there, but also wanted to note that since the orb and orb shard stacks went up to 9,999, you can go through and open your purple shard boxes without having that annoying sell mana for every single orb type that you were capped at. So now's a good time to go through if you were holding on to some 10,000 plus boxes and just spam open them. And also they did change the interface a little bit, so where you're just able to click spam the same spot where the use more button comes up. You don't have to click anywhere else on the screen. You can just keep spamming this one spot right here next to my head. And open as many as humanly possible if you are in need of doing that. I'm back to playing 3 accounts, so I've got quite a bit of work to do. I'm trying to stay ahead of the 10th anniversary prep to not have anything come up without me knowing about it. It's always better to stay ahead of this stuff. And if you can knock out the new scenario as well, it's only like 3 chapters, so better to just knock it out and get the diamond income sooner than later. They also pretty much released every single scenario in the game, like over 20 of them. So if it's a great time for event catch up, drop the rest of your stamina that you've got. If you had any saved over from any cheer events, make sure that you don't have anything expiring in your mailbox. And how quickly that new 100 inventory slots already got filled up. Oh boy, more inventory work to do. Well, I'll be here for a couple hours, and just know that this time skip is very brutal. Alright, recording again, jumping back in, people. I'm jumping around all kinds of busy today. We're doing some crazy stuff. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this 10th Ultra Party to 10 steps, because I want to see one of these featured. So We have an abysmal rate to see anything until step 10, but it's only 10,000 diamonds to see somebody at the end. And it's a 5% chance for every single one of them, so most of these I don't have. Even if I get a dupe, I think most of them would be pretty good. I think there's some that I'm going to be pretty upset about, like if I see a Scorpio, that'd be pretty bad. I already have her P6. But we're going to try it and see what we get. So let's stream it up. More pulls on the stream. We're just going to skip to the step 10 pretty much because of the abysmal rates on every other step. Oh, okay. We actually got something on step 2. That's awesome. And the mechanical pals. That's worth it. That's worth it right there. Heck yeah. Vindicator Sif was missing here on the main and an extra mechanical pals. Probably keep 2 4-star of that one. Too good to just 5-star it out right away. Alright, trash old gears, Heisaflugel, Keck W. Oh, but a V-Skull dupe. Take a V-Skull dupe. Anything for 1,000 diamonds here. These are good. 1,000 diamonds for a Pandora Galaxia. Gonna use 2 at 4-star there. Hermes gear. Didn't even have this one yet. Another 4-mile hot, my third. This is awesome. Double emblem at least. Another Zubinelli. That's good. Alright. Got my third Aqua Cleric Scepter. Worth. And here we got our guaranteed. So let's see what we get. We'll take it slow. Only 3 rares. Ooh, that's good. Is that my one? Yeah, I had her, so unfortunate dupe, but I'll still take a dupe for it. It's not horrible. So 10,000 down, got my first Divine Lightning Spear. Had a 5% chance to get that, so not too bad. I'll take it. I bet the banner went away. Did the banner go away after I hit 10 steps? Yes, it did. Oh wow, I would have liked to review the rates a little bit more, or see who else was on it. Maybe I'll go back over the footage. Let's do our first popularity vote free summon. Just slam a skip on this one. All right, we got a bunch of crystals. Eight heroes got crystals. And that is another Vindicator Skull dupe. We are racking them in. I'm pretty sure Moonsort's already 4,800 G3. That's decent though. GG. We will be getting as many of these pulls in as possible. Okay, jumping back in, you won't realize, but this has been a whole week of a time warp. We are only hours away from the end of our first new Guild War beta. So I'm gonna go over everything that I learned here for this cycle, so hopefully y'all can learn a little bit from that. So with the new Guild War beta, which I really like, actually, I hope they keep it over the old way. So now you're not fighting through 3 lanes, through walls and other players' defense teams. You're only fighting the Guild Crystal. So you'll gain Alliance Stones throughout the week by pretty much doing anything in the game, whether it's running campaign, story, connect battles, anything, pretty much. And your contributions of those Alliance Stones every week are able to be used by the Jarl or the co-Jarls to level up the stats of your Guild Crystal. The other element is the mercenaries. Everybody in the guild is able to set 5 mercenaries that then the Jarl or co-Jarl can set to be the crystal's auto skills instead of its default ones. And there will be a new bracket system for this, so eventually people will fight in their proper tier, but at the beginning it seems like we're fighting dead guilds. Okay, so here's your Guild War page. There's no battle map, there's no lanes, there's no towers or anything. It's just crystals and damage. So you have 3 battle attempts in the period, and you cannot reset these. Once you go into it, your charge has been consumed. You cannot pause and exit, reset, and try again. It will consume the charge. I learned that the hard way because I set an 80 million damage run, and then I tried to scum it. I should have just tested that on an alt, so I could have done more damage, but you know, we live and learn. That's why we're here. Now, if you click the little play button next to your crystal, you can see the stats that you were able to get in the battle. So I boosted most of our stats to at least level 4, 5, or 6, so they've got quite a bit of help there. Now, our action skill, I don't remember if I used one of our fire mercenaries to change this, which I'm pretty sure I did, but I know I changed a lot of our auto skills. So I think this is a Jube Bride Son for the water one. This is a Gunlod for the earth one. But yeah, the amount of stones that you use to change these action skills is minute. It's only 5,000 to change all 5 of the element skills, whereas you'll be spending like 99% of your other alliance stones into the base stats. What you can do is you can also go over here below, well, where my head is, above the enemy guild crystal on the right, and click their play button to see their guild crystal stats. So they had very little investment. I don't even know if this is level 2 invested. I think these were base stats. And they have the basic action skill of the fire type, and they didn't change any of the auto skills of the different elements. So I think they just are AFK. Where are you? All right, so this play button in the top will tell you a little guild battle schedule. So be sure you're coming in here and checking this out. These times are in UTC. So like I mentioned in the previous video, it's probably good to learn your UTC time conversion, just so you know. And Alliance Stone reset for the week is Wednesday at 16 UTC. So any stones that you earn after that will be used to power up the next guild battles crystal. So just know that that information is there if you need to see it or don't know when the battle is going to be starting or ending. You can click the battle history button to check out what your members have done so far, so you can see runs from everybody that's run. You can go through, and if you're really not sure what kind of team you should be using, you can do some research to see what your guild has been using and see if you can use any of those strategies. Now, thankfully, they have a skirmish mode where you can go in and just test your damage and not consume one of your 3 battle charges. So this is how you can do test runs. This is very useful, and shout out to my guildie Massive for coming up with this team comp. This team comp slapped. So if you didn't know, Echo was our free A5 handout as long as you farmed enough, and she is perfect for this crystal. She does all ally 30% damage up to dwarves and melee row, so she's absolutely perfect. She covers 2 of your needed boosts right off the bat. And why am I talking about dwarf amp for a guild crystal that should be a beast? Well, that's another important thing. This search button up here, you need to come check it out, because apparently what Ateam's going to do with this mode is they're going to cycle what type, race, and gender the crystal is. So the crystal for this first cycle is a fire type crystal in the melee row, airborne female dwarf. So if you didn't pay attention to that and you thought you were fighting a male beast, I'm sorry. You weren't. You're fighting a female dwarf. So this is why you needed damage up to fire, you needed melee row damage up, you needed female amp, and you needed damage up to dwarves. If you didn't cover all that, you probably weren't doing your best damage, unless you're just Giga Chad with like A5 and P6 light stuff anyway. As a starting basics, come into your filters and do damage up skill to a certain couple things like dwarf. You can see that my Jude Bride Celine was also an option, but Echo is a really nice 30%. Alright, so Jupe Celine covers all allies 30% damage up against fire element enemies and dwarves, so she's a really good option here for this one. She covers 2, and Echo covers the melee row, so they do really well together. And you can run single Asgard buff when you use the 2 of them. Hopefully you should know your female imps by this point in the game. I just brought Jude Brideson because she's my best at 50% and works well here. Also, the Gargantuan Blade is just an amazing piece of gear here. It gives all allies agitation to fire, so really good for that fire auto skill. Then obviously check your airborne amps, and if you didn't cover melee row with Echo, that's going to be a little bit harder of a thing to do, but obviously you should be able to cover it. You can also just choose to ignore a certain boost to a certain damage component, but you might potentially be losing damage if you can't build a comp around it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and run into one skirmish here, see if I can hit 80 million again. The beautiful thing about it is that since now we have limit burst auto to be able to set to off, you can just let it auto and this will run. Alright, well this run did hit 70 mil, so if I had been a little bit more patient, I could have set a little bit higher of a score, 73 mil there. So just know you can use skirmish and test out stuff before you go in. Lofin at A5 is just an absolute monster. I did pick my A5 Lofin from the May ticket. She was at A4, so I got my last dupe of her needed for the all ally emboldened component of her ascension condition, which has been fantastic. That improved her damage by quite a bit just there. Alrighty, so you can test with skirmish mode. That's very good to know. You get 3 runs, and only the highest of your scores is actually going to be the number that shows up over here. So at first I thought it was going to be a cumulative thing, but it is not. It is just your highest score that counts towards your guild's total. Alright, so that's a breakdown of the new Guild War beta. If there are any other questions, please leave them in the comments. I will get to them, and we'll be keeping up with this as they go through it. Hopefully they keep going with this. I really like not having to fight through the lanes. That gets old and tedious, especially when you're one of the only ones doing it actively in your guild. Once again, if you have any other questions about the guild battle update, be sure to come into the patch notes and review the introducing new event. there's at least a little bit more information that I didn't specifically go over, and you can always just fact check me here. I say wrong stuff all the time, even though I look through this stuff, so be sure to come look through it. The Guild War rewards are going to be a lot better. Now, actually, we didn't even go through and look at that, so let's go look at that before I move on. Reward list. So you're going to get battle rewards, a victory reward, and then an end of season reward. So this is our beta season right now. Everybody is, I guess, going to start out in the iron tier, or whatever this equivalent is going to be, the wood tier. Bronze, silver, gold. Looks like diamond, pink shiny diamond, amethyst, ruby tiers, maybe. We'll see. I don't know if they listed out the tier names anywhere. I didn't see them. So you get a small battle reward after using one of your battle charges. If you win the victory, you will be getting diamonds. And even if you lose, you'll be getting diamonds. That's interesting that there's a draw reward. I don't see a world where they tie unless it's 0-0. Maybe that was a preventative. If two guilds just have 0, you only get mana instead. Somebody has to score points maybe. But these rewards will ramp up by the time you hit the final tier, and every guild war you have potentially could be getting 300 diamonds from a victory in the final tier, which is pretty good. That's a lot better than not getting any diamonds at all. And at the end of the beta season, there will be bracketed tier rewards. So push up as high as you can. Rank 1 guild gets 10,000 diamonds, 200 high boost, 50 interstice, and a badge flex. Nice. That is pretty sick. I wonder how many rank 101 and above. I wonder how many guilds are actually going to be able to be in each tier. That'd be very interesting to see. So I wonder if after our first battle, we're going to jump up multiple tiers based on our damage. We'll see though. I'm very interested in that as well. So good deal. Lots of diamonds on the line here now. That's much better, Ateam. The two things that people want, diamonds and high boost. So thank you for listening. I'm glad that you're finally giving those rewards out for our guild contributions now. Guild Battle Renewal Campaign, just a big old picture of diamonds. Anybody who takes part will receive 1,000 diamonds until the pretty much end of July, so no earlier than August. Wow, okay, so everybody who does Guild Battle at least once will get 1,000 diamonds in August. That's kind of a ways out, but at least something. Okay, we have Genesis War back, so also we can go team build on that as well. And I've heard that she's a little bit more bulky this time, so let's see what we're working with here. I don't know what my team was from the last time. There's no ranking on these, so I might just go check some resources from my Discord and see if I can just slap an easier team together. Alright, well, we're gonna do light comp again. Humans, Earth, Magic, Airborne, Female amps. Could potentially use LME here for Magic row amp. Kind of want to try out the Hel, to be honest. I could try Enlightened Lift now instead of Eye Lift, or Echo. I don't necessarily want to lose the Magic row amp though, but I don't think a purple LME is going to be as good as what I could have, so I might just drop it and test Echo instead. Let's test a run here, at least get single Asgard buff on. I don't need any altitude amps because I'm bringing Hel now. I don't know if you can shred an element resist on these bosses because of their buffs. I don't think an element shred is a stat debuff. I think those are just flat stats, so you probably can still shred light element resist, I would guess. So let's bring those openers. Alright, so I've got my full light team, full light equipments, and mostly Vectar light stuff. Female Venus Slayer, Mato Peach on Lofen. Let us roll in and see what we can do here. Alright, so not very good. We leveled her up way too fast, barely did any damage. Did I have the right preset on? There's no way my damage looked like this. Alright, well, I'm gonna go do my laundry while these two fizzle out. Ylif, why are you fighting so hard? Just go down. Ylif, of course, just lives to the end. Jeez. Alright, so something's funky here. I need to check if I even brought the right gear set. Yeah, I did. That's scary. Alright, so I'm trying LME for the all allied tempered and the damage up to magic row enemies. Something's just not right here. Might need to try to bulk up them a little bit more. I might need like an all stats or an MDef coverage. She does a lot of MATAC damage. Oh, and she has damage boost up to elves. Makes Echo a little bit more exposed to damage. 30% MDef. Let's try that on Lofen. Here we go. Roxy figure might be nice there. Yeah, her MDef is low. Why don't we boost it up extra? Let's make sure she has 50% MDef constant. Don't really need that either. We could probably just switch to insignia maybe. Alright, let's go in and try this. Let's animation cancel the first burst. Or the first action skill rather. Okay, no. Purple Elamy's not gonna cut it. She's so much tankier this time around. There goes Echo. Oh goodness gracious. Alright. Well, I would really need to look for some earth element resistance. Element res up. Regular lift. Color master is only 10 turns though, but I'd have to be booning that with Lofen, I guess. I could try to stack it and keep booning it. I don't know if Echo's really the right play for me. Elves just get popped too easily. If I could just go 100% element resist and keep booning it, could go Lofen. I could go skill gauge based on Lofen, but I think she's already pretty good. So yeah, maybe if I just focus on skill gauge generation on Lofen and do a boon strategy. There, bunny fan. And probably platinum bayonet. It's 20% skill gauge. At least everything skill gauge ups Lofen now. Oh my goodness, the damage. At least we beat 400 mil. No, stop hurting so much. Lofen, no. Gonna cancel that one. No. Dang, can we hit 700 at least? Something. A double color mastery and boon worked a little bit better, but still got to be too much damage. My purple LME just can't hang yet. Alright, Ylif, are we gonna do this all over again? Scene 2.5 minutes. Ylif just did 150 million damage solo at the end of it. She can't kill Ylif. Oh my gosh. Regular lift's not really that good on that damage. Oh my gosh, what are we doing here? 852 mil. I am such a scrub. I'm just gonna do my quicks for the day because I missed the first day because I'm a baddie. Even though I told my guild not to miss the first day, and then I go and miss the first day. Oops. Alright, so finally we get to the last summons that just came around this week. Luckily I'm only a day behind on these. My full-time job, landscaping, is brutal during the week, so I don't have much time to make videos throughout the week now. We have our Resplendent Skuld, and you have a 1 in 3 chance of seeing her on step 10. She's guaranteed on step 30. You knew they were gonna do that to us. The artwork is really nice though. The little 10th cloud written out. We have a reminder of our rune chains. A lot of people have been asking questions about this. This just makes your action skills stronger for the more people in the chain that join it. And our 2 Resplendents now have rune chain abilities that have special chaining effects that trigger another special effect. That's pretty much all this mechanic is right now as we know it. So there's not much else to it except that the game is a lot easier because you'll be able to make rune chains kind of without even trying most of the time. Some rune chains are more specific than others, but some are really general, like just one element that they can chain off anybody. And we have another ultra party, a 1000 step, so 10k for a guarantee. This was really good on the last Therian elf one. I went into it, although I got a dupe, it was still good chances. So we have 20 heroes here total. Let's get them all on the screen. We have 20 heroes total. If you have less than half, I would say it's a good chance to go. Like, although I had less than half on the first one and I still pulled a dupe, but these are really good heroes to be seeing. There would only be a few unfortunate ones that would be the weaker of the bunch, but there's really a lot of good limited heroes in here as well. And getting dupes for a lot of them is not the end of the world as well. So I might just go in on this right now, and then we'll go the last whatever 12k I have into Anniversary Party 2 and see if we get lucky early, but I do plan to take that to step 10. So let's do this. Probably just gonna skip the steps in between since the rates are so low. Double Morpheas, the OG and the Great Sage. Oh, we did get an Yggie though, that's good. Tsukino and Olin dupes, not a lot to write home about there. Kohaku dupe. DL Burry dupe. I think he's already G3 though, but at least that's supercharge. Wounded Soul Rad's dupe. Not a whole lot going on there. Okay, Motsog dupe. This is like the 3rd Kohaku that I've got. That's crazy. Okay. Dupes. Viter dupe. And let's see who we get. Is it a double? Give me a double. Ooh, Tyrant Breaker. That's good gear. Jubilee. One I had, of course. I was not lucky on these at all. I got a dupe on both of them. I only had 8 of the 20 as well. Oh well, still good enough dupes to justify 10k, I think, and a couple good pieces of gear. So not upset, but you know, would have loved another one. All right, we got a couple steps into our Scald now. Let's do it. Rand and Graphene. A Denavia that I didn't need. A V2 Elenige. Some Interstice Crystal. And step 5 for now. Oh. Okay. We got an Outcast. Outcast Keanu Reeves, baby. Gun girl. Let's go. I don't even know what she does. Didn't look over her kit that well. Oh yeah, she was the one who gave most of the buffs to herself. Oh, that's all good though. Therian Divine Aid. Good dark damage. Sweet. Well, we'll take another Outcast. I'll take it. Something to end the little pull session on. Gotta get more diamonds now. Alrighty, R-Scold. Hopefully you come home at step 10, because I do not plan on taking this to step 30. Alright everybody, well that's our week of Valkyrie, so hopefully you've learned something in the guild war and have been able to farm your Lif Enlightenment. A lot of other things coming up, so let's stay farming. And until next time everybody, foots out. Cheers.